Okay, so I'm uploading this video in a nutshell because I can't stand watching this propaganda crap anymore on television. As everybody knows, there was so-called terrorist attacks in Paris around 2 weeks ago from today, and everybody knew that the climate change meeting was gonna happen here in Paris, France, and I didn't see too many people connecting the dots of why would they be doing a false flag in Paris at that time, and a lot of people connected it to a lot of things. Only a few people seemed to make the connection of prepping the uh, the stage per se to prevent any type of protest. And obviously, as you know, it's Paris is under a state of emergency, and they are now going to prevent any type of outcry to this global warming farce. I'm this is me in Voronezh, Russia. You can see. Don't know if you can see much out here, but it's kind of still raining here, and usually it snows at least by now. By now it's kind of slushy snow there. It kind of snows and everything is snow covered at least by now. I mean, normally snow comes a month and a half, a month ago, and there's been a lot of what people call chemtrails in the sky here at incremental times, and I don't necessarily believe chemtrails are anything but maybe a change of fuel. I read a document about changing the fuel to a sulfur-based fuel in 2010. I'm not sure whether that was global or whether that was only in the US. And my thoughts on that is probably more likely than not what it is them just, if they can see the weather, that means they can kind of manipulate flight paths. Maybe flight paths change. I haven't done research on that. But what I can speculate is that they were doing it here specifically to warm this place up, because everybody knows Putin was going to this whole climate change thing, and so far he's been anti-CO2, or so-called, but he also calls himself a Christian, and we all know that he's not at all a Christian. He was raised in a Jewish family. I'm not sure if he's Jewish himself, but I know that he sympathizes with Jews simply because last November 2014 he decided to instate the thought crime of not questioning World War II history or the Holocaust, and wants the status quo exaggerated story regarding Russia's involvement in World War II and what exactly happened in the Holocaust. So here we are. We've got this guy, head of Russia, 80% rating, positive rating here, and claims to be anti-CO2, going to the climate change. Just happens to be the warmest Russian fall, I don't know in how many years. I'll have to get back to you on that, but I mean, it's never been this warm. I mean, I can go outside right now and make a mud angel. So here we are. Nobody's allowed to question anything about the CO2. You can look it up yourself. There's no such thing as greenhouse gas. Type that in. No such thing as greenhouse gas. Once they came up with no such thing as greenhouse gas, proving that all the other gases in the atmosphere also absorb and diffuse different various wavelengths of radiation. Then they started coming up with the idea that, oh well, it's all about the ground heat. It coming from the ground heat and getting stuck in between the clouds, and that seems a little bit far-fetched for me. But again, I'd have to do a little bit more research to get my head wrapped around that. But it's so obvious that this is being used as an excuse, regardless of whether it's true or not. Global warming, I mean, regardless of whether global warming is true or not, they definitely want to blame the cause on CO2. Because we know CO2 levels have been rising, but we don't necessarily have any evidence to associate that with, besides the 97% number of scientists they keep on pushing out there. That's absolute propaganda bullshit. I mean, come on. 97% of people aren't that smart to figure it out, and there's definitely more than 3% of people speaking out on this. Anyway, so there you go. That was my take on this. I couldn't keep it, you know, I'm not a professional video maker. Maybe I'll get into this, but I just can't stand to, like, post comment after a comment. And I figured maybe if I put the right keywords in at the right time, somebody will get this video and watch it. So there you go. Leave your comments below. Subscribe. Maybe I'll come out with some more videos if people like this one and resonate with this as some type of truth. Sorry I don't have any fancy editing skills. You know, anybody can download Adobe, but you know, carpenter knows how to use tools, and a programmer knows how to use his tools. Sadly, I don't have any skills like that, but maybe I'll practice. Anyway, thank you for tuning in, and think with your mind. One comment I always like to point out is we need voting machines that run off of blockchain technology with open source code so that we can finally vote with confidence. I've never voted in my life. It's been very much obvious that it's a farce, and it's been proven in recent years to be a farce, at least in the U.S. But I mean, come on, if it's in the U.S. and, well, you know, you get it. So if we can convince our current government to put in those type of machines that I spoke of, if you combine that with, if you combine your real vote with finding people who will do what they say they will do in government, then, you know, then you can maybe get some things changed, like shutting down the Fed in the U.S. and nationalizing Russia's currency, which only one politician I've heard in Russia actually speak that, to nationalize Russia's central bank into a national bank away from London, England, and to bring on the sanctions. He's the only person that has been making sense, at least on this end. Anyway, like, share, subscribe. See it all the time.